Hi, welcome back. Mark Haines here at Mark Haines Golf. Now today I've got a really good tip for you on putting, and more specifically your arm and wrist angles when putting. Now this is so crucial to being able to control the putter accurately and deliver the putter accurately back to impact. So if you find that maybe your ball rolls a little bit inconsistent, or your distance control is not as good as it could be, or basically just not holding as many putts as you want to, then potentially how you're positioned with your arms and wrists at the beginning could be affecting how the putter returns back and then how good the ball's rolling. You may be getting too much backspin or side spin on the putts when you're hitting the shots. So one of the most common problems I see is that I tend to see people's wrists backwards like this and the putter shaft leaning back. So for putting, most putters are designed that the handle and shaft should be leaning forward slightly here. So not all putters are designed this way, but most are designed to have some shaft or handle leaning forward like this. So it's important that you actually set it up this way so you can use it most effectively. Now for the arm and wrist angles, if it tends to be a little bit this way around, where the left wrist has got some angle or cupped in here and the right wrist is very straight, or this way around, then your arm angles tend to get the wrong way around, which is going to add some loft onto the putter face here. So it's quite easy to chip the ball up in the air, and then the ball might actually negatively rotate or rotate in the wrong direction before it lands and then starts rolling again. So what your arm and wrist should be looking like is something kind of like this at the beginning. And an easy way to get that, this is what I want you to go and have a go at straight away, is get your arms and wrist position like this. So if you bring them forward in front of your body into this kind of praying position, where my left hand's pretty flat and my right hand's got a bit of angle, and both my arms have got some bend in here, then this is going to get you into a really good position with your arm and wrist. And then as we make the stroke from there, we're just going to we're going to keep all of our arm and wrist angles exactly the same. So this is a great way to practice and to work out what you need to be doing with your arms and wrists. And from the back, again, I've got my posture, and then my arms have got slight bends in here like this, come forward. And again, I've just got my arms hanging down with a bit of bend in. I've got my wrist angles correct. So if you get good at doing that without the putter to begin with, which makes it a little bit simpler, then you can apply the same thing to the putter, and it should be looking something like this then. So this is flat, and this has got that bit of angle. Then a real key then is to actually be able to keep these angles when you're putting. So once you've got these angles, arm and wrist angles set, we need to keep those for as long as we can, or through the whole stroke. So you watch any good tour players or any good putters on TV when you get a chance to watch any golf, they'll all be keeping their arm and wrist angles, and particularly in this right wrist as well. This is where we've got to keep this angle. So once we've got set up, I want you to keep this right wrist angle, and that's going to help make sure that you return the putter shaft and the putt head back to the ball with the right loft and the right shaft lean to then roll the ball better and for you to hold some more putts. So from the back, once I've got my arm and wrist set up like this, then all I'm doing from here is moving the putter back and forth. I'm not changing any angles in my arms and wrists. So when we've got the ball, let's just have a quick go with that. Good. So you should be looking something like this at the start. And then when you make your stroke, you can see here that I've managed to maintain my wrist angles. That's going to ensure I get a better strike. Okay, I also just wanted to add in a quick recap on grip and forearm position. So don't forget, when you're gripping the putter, you can always check one of the earlier videos for this for a more detailed video on the grip for the putting. But really what we're looking for is to run the putter shaft up the palm or the lifeline of your hand like this. So not in the fingers, more like your normal golf grip, much more up the palm. This will reduce the manipulation and the hand action that you can use when you're putting, which we want a minimal hand action to make it more consistent. And this runs up my forearm line here. And then what I'm trying to do is match that with my right forearm. So my forearms are in line, both covering the putter shaft. This is going to make a nice one lever mechanism for the putter to work in. And from the front, what we're trying to do again is get the palms facing like I've got here, and I'm trying to maintain that relationship on the golf club. So my palms are still pretty much facing here. They might not be dead level, depending on how I want to grip it, but I'm trying to get the palms facing the best I can. So my wrist and arm angles are matching, and ideally the back of the left wrist matching the putter face here, so it's not at a different angle to the putter face, so that when I return the putter on my left wrist, then they kind of match and they should point in the same direction. So quick recap there for you. Don't forget forearms and putter shaft in line, really crucial, and grip, palms facing, and hands, you know, ideally fairly close to each other, on top of each other, generally works pretty good for most people. You know, like I just mentioned a second ago, the claws getting more popular with people who struggle with sort of wrist action. You know, Chris DeMarco and Phil Mickelson of late has made that quite popular, and it works well for them. So, you know, if you find you're really struggling with wrist and arm angles, or how your wrist working you got in your putting stroke, maybe you've got the yips, then, you know, trying a grip change when you've got the yips can often be very, very effective. And normally left below right, or the claw style one, can help quite a lot. Okay, so it's a really simple drill. All I want you to do is go and get your arms and wrist position in the right position to start with, this praying style drill. Check that in a mirror from the back and the front, making sure we've got a bit of bend in these arms. That's going to help connect your arms and your body to give you a more stable stroke. So once you've got those arms and wrists in the right position, make sure you can move your arms and wrists without any manipulation, so the angles aren't changing in your arms and wrists. And that's going to give you a far more consistent and effective stroke that'll roll the ball better. Okay, go and give this one a go. Nice, simple, quick, easy one for you. Any questions, please send them in. Any comments, I'd love to get those comments below, that'd be great. And thanks for watching.